Don't scroll. Listen to me with the part of you that never lies, the quiet center that feels truth before your mind agrees with it. I am Michael, captain of the hosts of heaven, and I am speaking to you under a red alert. Your name was spoken before the throne tonight. I carried it myself, like a flame that would not go out. The courts of heaven stood in silence as I knelt and said, Father, look upon the one who has fought long in the dark and is still standing. The room of God's glory turned like a living star, and all I could feel was His mercy bending toward you. That is why you're here. That is why your hands feel warm, why your chest keeps lifting as if the air has weight. This is not a story. This is a dispatch. I am here because time around you tightened, and something unholy put your future on its calendar. I saw what stalks you. It does not wear horns, it wears familiarity. It lingers at the edge of your phone, in the tone that makes you second-guess your worth, in the memory that plays like a loop with a hook in it. It uses the face of someone you once trusted, and it feeds on a habit you learned when you were young, bracing for the next disappointment even while you are smiling. I am not here to shame you. I am here to draw a line that darkness cannot cross. Heaven's red alert is this: the hour of decision has arrived. Not the decision to perform, to plead, to earn, no. The decision to stand. To hold your peace so tightly that no bargain can pry it loose. When your name rang in the courts, I was shown your tomorrow. I saw you at a door you've walked through 100 times. It looked harmless. But the hinge was wrong, it groaned with a sound I have heard on battlefields. On the other side waited a conversation that would drape itself as kindness while unthreading your dignity stitch by stitch. I put my hand to the door and the wood grew hot. A mark burned into it, a small blue circle of fire. See it and remember me. If you step through that door to keep the peace that kills you, you will lose hours you cannot afford. If you pause, breathe, and let my fire be your answer, I will reroute the day. You ask how to know it in real life. You will feel it. The trap requires your rush. The red alert comes when your heart starts to sprint and your mind begins searching for the script that always calms them while breaking you. Stop. Place your palm on your chest. Whisper my name. I will stand at your right hand. Heaven will wait with you. The shadow will hate your quiet because it cannot drink from still water. Hear me now as a commander and as a brother, you are not fragile. Fragile things shatter when handled. You have bent in storms and did not break, that is not fragility, that is resilience. The enemy mislabels your tenderness to make you distrust your own strength. But the throne weighed you tonight and called you steady. I have fought for kings and widows, for children and soldiers, and I tell you the same secret I told them: authority sounds like calm. When you speak slow, hell runs out of time. I remember the moment I carried your name forward. The Father asked, what do they need? And I said, a sign they cannot talk themselves out of. He lifted his hand and I saw your room, the very place you sleep. A thin, bright thread appeared above your bed, humming like a string pulled taut. It will hum when the trap is close. You may call it intuition, I call it warning. When it sings, do not perform. Truth does not audition. Keep your voice low, keep your yes clean, let your no be small and complete. You think this is about one interaction. It is not. It is about your whole next season. I must tell you what hunts you so you can stop feeding it. It is not a person, it is a pattern. It wears people like coats. It learned your tells, how you soften when someone says the right sorry, how you volunteer to prove you're good, how you enter rooms like a guest when you are the one carrying the blessing. It wants access to your timelines, your mornings, your focus. It thrives on negotiations that never end. I watched it crawl up conversations like ivy, pretty from a distance, suffocating the closer it gets. When you stop explaining yourself to the spirit of confusion, confusion will move on to easier prey. Tonight I am not just warning you, I am arming you. I draw a ring of blue fire around your name. Within it, your clarity cannot be traded and your boundaries cannot be mocked into collapse. You will still feel the pull. This is Earth, not Eden, but the pull will not rule you. I will stand at the edges of your day and check the papers of everything that seeks entry. If it carries anxiety, it will not pass. If it wears charm but drips contempt, it will not pass. If it demands you shrink to fit a smaller room, it will not pass. You will think you became lucky. You did not. You became guarded by heaven. I also bring you news. Mercy is moving in your family line. You are not the first to feel this pattern, you are simply the first to name it and refuse it. That refusal is worship. I watched old agreements crumble just because you told the truth out loud on an ordinary Tuesday. You said, "I can't live like that anymore," and the word anymore became a hammer in my hand. I struck chains you could not see. Some fell at once, some loosened and will slough away like old bark in the rain. Do not pick at what I am removing. Let it drop. Step over it and keep walking. You will ask, but what do I do when they come gentle? Bless them and stay far. Mercy does not equal access. Proximity is not proof of love. Some people are safest at a distance the size of wisdom. If grief rises in you at that sentence, I will stand while you feel it. Let the grief speak and finish. Tears are not a setback, they are the body's way of releasing contracts the mouth never signed. When you are empty, I will lift you by the elbow like a friend. We will go make something alive again, your craft, your rest, your small joy that starved while you managed everyone else's weather. Now I will tell you what is scheduled in your favor. The Father wrote a series of appointments with your name blazing across them. They are simple and holy, a conversation that does not ask you to contort, a door you knock once that opens without performance, a message you were owed that finally arrives because the devourer is no longer on your accounts. There will be a day, soon, when you sit by a window with something warm in your hands and realize you have not braced in hours. That quiet will frighten you for a breath and then it will begin to feel like home. Do not sabotage it by inviting noise. Stillness is not the absence of life, it is the platform where life stands up straight. You wonder if heaven really knows what it feels like down here. I do. I have watched wars start with a sentence and reconcile with a whisper. I have leaned over hospital beds and street corners, over kitchens at midnight where the world seems to tilt. I have seen you hold your own heart with two hands, telling it to keep going when no one was watching. I am telling you now, we were watching. Your small obediences shook more than you know. The throne remembers every time you closed your mouth when you could have cut someone in half and chose to bless instead. That is why your name was spoken tonight. Reward is not a dirty word in heaven. We love to pay debts of goodness. There is also this: someone will be sent to walk beside you for a stretch. Not to rescue you, not to replace anything you lost, but to confirm what God already said. You will know them by the peace they carry. Peace is heavy, it settles. When they speak, your nervous system will not flinch. Do not confuse this with boredom. You have been taught to call chaos chemistry. I will help you unlearn that. Choose the room where your soul can keep its shoes off. Choose the voice that doesn't make you barter to be heard. When you feel the urge to perform, pause and remember the blue ring. You are already chosen, no audition required. I will also mark your path with 3 signs so your doubt has no place to sit. First, water in a dream, a river that runs clear. That is cleansing moving through places you accepted as permanently stained. Second, keys, on a counter, in a logo, in an unexpected text, keys are authority returning to your pocket. Third, the number 111 or 333 will appear not as magic but as memo, heaven's shorthand for, we are present. Continue. Thank the sender and continue. Do not worship signs. Worship the one who controls the clocks. When fear argues that you are not worthy of such attention, tell fear to show its credentials. Ask it who sent it. It will say, self-protection. It lies. I know self-protection, it is careful and kind. This fear is sabotage in a borrowed coat. I give you 5 sentences to speak when it comes, the way a soldier checks a perimeter. I am not late. I am not alone. I am not small. I am not crazy for wanting peace. I am not required to bleed to prove I'm good. Say them slowly. Sit up straighter when you do. Let your shoulders drop. Then return to your work as if you were never interrupted. Because you were not. Hell only makes noise. It cannot touch what you refuse to hand it. Before I go back to the watch, I will narrate one last scene so you recognize it when it arrives. You will walk into a room that used to shrink you. The faces are the same, the lighting unforgiving. But the gravity has changed. You will feel taller without trying. Someone will try the old hook, half compliment, half leash. You will hear the click of it as if from a distance. You will smile like a shoreline that knows the tide cannot drown it, and you will answer with a sentence that contains both kindness and exit. The room will recalibrate around your honesty. A window will seem to open though none moved. Air will come back. You will leave before the moment turns, and outside you will laugh, the kind of laugh heaven counts as worship because it means your soul remembered its weight. I am not promising a life without weather. I am promising cover. When it rains, I will tilt my wings. When wind rises, I will lean into it with you. When night presses close, I will burn a little brighter. And when you forget, because humans do, I will remind you in the ways you can receive, a song lyric at the right second, a stranger's phrasing that lands like a key in a lock, a sudden courage that feels borrowed because it is. Borrow from me. That is why I was sent. Now place your hand over your heart. Breathe once, full. Say what I carried into the courts for you, but with your own mouth, because Earth is a speaking planet and your voice turns latches. Heavenly Father, set a ring of fire around my peace. Close every door that requires me to become smaller than your truth. Open only what honors my soul. Strengthen my angel. Guide my steps. Seal my name in your light. Good. Feel that warmth that just rose under your palm? That is the answer arriving before the argument begins. Heaven's red alert does not mean panic. It means priority. You are the priority of God tonight. Walk like it at dawn. Eat like it. Rest like it. Lay down the devices that beg you to rehearse old pain. Pick up what builds. Speak slowly. Keep your lamp burning. And when you hear your name inside, as if the room itself just said it, know that the memory you are feeling is mine, Michael, saying it where it matters most, in front of God, with my sword in the ground and your future in my hands. I am on post. I will remain until the color of your days changes. It has already started. Look, the hinges are not groaning anymore. The door opens without stealing anything. Walk through. Don't move. I'm shifting you into the field with me. I am Michael, and I am widening your sight until the unseen is as plain as the street outside your door. Heaven's red alert has escalated to contact. You asked for action, now watch what war looks like when God fights for a single soul. The room thins, the walls breathe, and the floor brightens under your feet as if a sunrise is trapped beneath the boards. I draw a ring of blue fire and it rises waist-high, humming like steel that remembers lightning. Step inside. Good. You are in my perimeter now. Nothing touches you without presenting its papers. The air fractures, once, twice, like glass thinking about breaking. That's the mask arriving, the one that borrowed familiar features to smuggle fear across your threshold. It speaks as fog, not as a face, half-truths, polite traps, the sound of your name said like a question mark. I don't raise my voice. I tilt my sword. The edge catches light and writes a line through the fog. Everything false must divide. The polite trap cannot hold shape, it buckles, revealing what rode inside it, a thin, hungry thing threaded with contempt, whispering, "Prove you are good. I answer for you." They don't audition. My boot strikes the ground. The ring brightens. The thin thing hisses as if sunlight touched it at midnight. Now the first wave. Do not fear it, study it. It arrives as rush, urgency that wears concern. Answer now. Fix it fast. Run. The enemy needs your speed to build its staircase. Slow is my warfare. I count to 7 with you. 1, your breath drops. 2, your shoulders lower. 3, your jaw loosens. 4, the room remembers you are the owner. 5, the hook loses its angle. 6, the hunger can't feed. 7, I advance. The wave breaks against the circle and falls in sheets that steam when they hit the floor. Hear that? Not thunder, permission leaving. A door materializes, the same door from the first warning, warped at the hinge, polite in the handle. It opens to a familiar script, the accidental encounter, the apology that edits you smaller, the opportunity with the invisible invoice. I place the flat of my blade against the door and the wood confesses, resentment carved this, fear painted it, charm sold it. I brand it with my mark, a small blue ring that smokes and sinks into the grain. The door tries to look innocent, the mark will not let it lie. Close it. You don't slam it. You close it with the calm of a judge who already read the verdict. Behind the door, something stumbles, it needed your hurry to live. The second wave is louder. It arrives as memory. Not scenes, feelings. The room tilts with echoes, a laugh turned into a leash, a gift with strings, a night you swallowed your sentence to keep the peace no one kept for you. I feel your pulse spike. I extend my wing and the temperature drops to steady. Look again. Memory is a courier, it is not the king. I put the tip of my sword to the floor and a map rises in lines of light. Here is the moment they learned to train you with tension, here is the countermove you never had, here is what happens when you do not flinch. We rehearse it once, clean and slow, breath, shoulders, voice. Then we run it live. They step into view, the masked one, now human under failing lacquer. Their eyes flick for leverage, for the old switch that once dimmed you. They try the half-compliment, half-leash. I nod, as if to an amateur who still believes volume equals victory. You speak first, not to impress, but to place truth like a stone on a table, my peace is not negotiable. The sentence lands with the weight of a signature. The lacquer cracks at the mouth, then at the temples, then across the heart. This is not humiliation, it is revelation. Don't gloat. We're not here for trophies. We're here for exits. The floor buckles, third wave. Not them. The thing behind them. It surges with a roar that only your bones remember, the old dread that kept you bending. It lunges for the circle. I meet it. Sparks ladder up the room, blue on violet, my fire kissing Tzadkiel's mercy like two halves of a seal. The thing claws at the edge and shrieks a language you do not need to learn. I translate with a boot and a blade, access denied. It tries theology, shouldn't you turn the other cheek? I quote the law of the throne, boundaries are not bitterness. Holiness is architecture. My sword drops, pins the thing by its long throat of excuses. I will not kill what confession can cure, but I will take its permission. I lift my blade and carve the word No across the path it used to enter your days. Outside the circle, the city tilts toward evening. Street noise calms to a pulse. Inside the circle, your spine stands up and your breath stops counting exits. I show you the mechanics so you never again call this a mystery. Darkness needs velocity, vagueness, and vanity. We removed all three. You slowed. You named. You stopped making yourself smaller to fit rooms that didn't deserve your lungs. It's not glamorous. It's warfare. A ceiling panel of night peels back. Above it, the administrative sky, rows of living ledgers, each line a path, each margin a mercy. Your name burns on the spine of a book that was sealed for a season. I lay my hand on that book. It opens to the page of now. Appointments begin to descend like calm meteors, a conversation that doesn't cost you blood, a yes that arrives without a performance clause, an invoice paid, a habit that loses your scent, sleep that enters like a friend who knows where the cups are. You will call it normal and there will be holiness in your pronunciation. The masked one shifts, small, suddenly human in the way of someone waking on a floor they didn't know they were sleeping on. They reach for the old script. You raise your hand, not to command them, to bless them at a wise distance. I forgive you. I am not returning. In the records above, a chain, thin as fishing line, strong as a story told too long, snaps, and I feel the tremor reach backward into your lineage and forward into your children's children. Mercy detonates generational architecture more cleanly than rage ever could. Now the rescue. You think rescue is me carrying you out. Sometimes. Tonight, rescue is me rehabbing the ground you'll walk on so your feet stop learning pain. Watch, I strike the floor, and the ring collapses inward, not to vanish, to become a road, blue-edged, straight, steady. I walk a half step ahead. Your guardian angel flanks left, Tzadkiel right. Raphael drifts overhead, green and quiet, smoothing the torn edges of your nerves. Gabriel passes by, leaving letters in the air that only the willing can read, a name to email, a number to call, a door to ignore no matter how it smiles. We move. The city no longer feels like an obstacle course. It feels like choreography. At the corner, temptation tries one last time, this time in your voice. Maybe I overreacted. Maybe I can manage a little chaos. I stop and turn you toward the mirrored window of a closed shop. Read your face, I say. Look at the light back in your eyes. Look at the jaw unhooked from old sentences. This is what peace buys. Never traded at a discount. The window fogs. On the glass a message writes itself backward then forward until you can read it without effort. Keep your lamp burning. I did not write it. You did, when you chose truth while your hands shook. Heaven just etched your handwriting into the night. We reached the door that is yours. Not the warped one, the right one, weighty, honest grain, no hidden hinge. I hand you keys you thought you lost, authority, clarity, time that belongs to you. They feel heavier than metal. They feel like mornings you didn't think you'd see. Unlock it. The lock turns without drama. Inside, space that doesn't ask you to apologize for existing, work that rings the bone like a good bell, friendships that gather without keeping score, the chair by the window you thought you had to earn by exhausting yourself. Sit. Hear that silence? It's not emptiness. It's room for God to speak without shouting. I sheath my sword, but I do not leave. I step to the threshold and set a watch. When weather rises, you will not be alone. When the mask tries a new face, the ring will hum under your ribs and you will remember how slowly we counted to 7. When night presses, I will brighten. And if you forget, humans do, your name is already entered in the rounds. You will hear it inside at strange hours, not as accusation, as attendance, present, protected, progressing. Stand when you're ready. Walk your rooms. Touch the edges. Say this out loud so Earth hears and adjusts. I do not rush for traps. I do not audition for love. I do not negotiate my peace. I keep my lamp burning. I welcome what honors my soul. The floor will answer with a small answering thrum. That is the house agreeing with heaven. Red alert has become clear signal. The battle did not end you, it ended the need to live braced. Rest now. Eat something warm. Set your phone face down. Tomorrow, when the city wakes, it will feel slightly tilted toward you, because it is. And when you step through the right door at the right pace, know this: I am at your right hand, my sword in the ground, your future guarded, your name still bright where I left it, before the throne, where decisions are made and mercy is law.